Time to get things in order. My young men to my older men, time to get things in order. No more of ignoring your financial status. No more you ignoring that. What I want you to do is I want you to go and you can Google online annual credit report. I think credit report online. You get your credit report for free. They give it, I think they only give it to you once a year, but they give you your credit report for free. What I want you to do is I want you to go onto that website. I want you to download all three of your credit reporting agencies: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. I want you to download all of those, and I want you to look and scan out what is on your credit report. My young folks, same exact thing. Young boys, 13, 14 years old, you need to check your credit report because somebody could have did identity theft with you. They could have taken your social security number and started racking up all kind of stuff. And you don't want to learn that later on when you can't change and you can't correct any of this stuff. You don't want to learn that. And then you got to start fighting with all this stuff when you're older. And now you need to be able to try to purchase certain things and your credit is all jacked up. So you need to check your credit report just as well to see what is showing on your credit report. So for all of my men, you go onto this website, you get your free reports, you check to see what is showing, what's listed. Now, when you check out your credit report, what I want you to do is there's a thing that they allow you to do is what's called disputing what is on there. Now, I would say if you don't have the greatest credit in the world, and you kind of know that, I would dispute everything, because you know what happens with the process of disputing? The process of disputing is where the credit report agency now has to go back to that company that put that information on your record. And I think that company has like 30 days that they have to validate that that is a valid impact on your credit, or valid, debt on your credit. And if they can't validate that, what happens is that it gets wiped off your credit report. That's what happens. So if you dispute everything, and you may get lucky where all of a sudden some of the things that you do know that you owed, but if that company doesn't have the correct paperwork, they can't find their paperwork. They've been making different transitions or whatever, switching companies and all this other stuff. They can't find that to authenticate your debt. You could possibly get a reprieve to where your credit score gets affected positively, because now that negative inquiry or that negative debt that was on your credit report has to be removed. So that's the importance of being able to dispute it. I would say dispute everything. If you don't want to dispute everything, but make sure that you look at your credit report, and whatever's on there that you think that needs to be looked at, or you're questioning, you're not sure, dispute it. Dispute it. Because that can impact your score. If it gets removed off, that can impact your score for the good. We need to make sure that our men are paying attention to this credit score system. This credit score system impacts everything that you do. Everything that you do. You want to go out for an apartment, you want to go out for a house, you want to go out for a loan, you want to go out for insurance. Most of y'all don't even really know that with insurance. An insurance company, I can tell you that from being a former insurance agent, insurance companies have a credit characteristic system that they check your credit score. When you first initially come in, they're rating you, they're quoting you. So they're not only looking at your driving record, or your tickets and all other stuff, they are looking at credit characteristics. And based off of that, that's how they determine what the rate they're going to give you for your car insurance. Same thing with your home, believe it or not. Same thing with renter's insurance. A lot of these policies that you're getting, They are running a credit characteristic to check what they may not look at your credit score, but they have some kind of system that is figuring out how your score is formulated to how it pertains to risk with them. And then what they do is they charge you based off of that. Whether you think that's fair or not, that's why it's so important for you to understand your credit report, understand what your credit scores are. Now, I don't know how you get to the credit scores anymore. You know, you got the credit wise and stuff like that. Some of that stuff, I'm not sure how accurate it is. It could be. Some credit card companies will allow you to get your credit scores, but you can find that type of stuff out as far as how to get your credit score without necessarily even having to pay for it. Or if someone has ran your credit, like you went to go get a car recently or some kind of loan, ask them for a copy of that credit report. It may only be one of the credit report agencies, but at least that gives you an idea of what one company is reporting your credit score as. So again, you go back, you dispute whatever it is that you have on your credit report, and you try to get that stuff removed off. And then if you can't get all that stuff removed off, now we got to go to the next step. The next step is you're going to have to start making phone calls to these debtors and start making some arrangements if you can, the smallest arrangements possible. We will get a little bit more into depth with this stuff, but I want to be able to touch bases first with you all with this new year. New year coming in, a lot of you all going to ignore stuff. No more ignoring stuff, man. Get your financial house in order. Get your status where you understand where you're at. Understand it impacts everything that you do. That's the society that we live in. It is what it is. Can't get mad at it. So you get that credit report for free. Scan your credit report. Dispute as many things as you possibly can. Hopefully you get lucky and you can remove some stuff off. Try to see where you can get your credit score at. Like I said, if you apply for some loans or something like that, ask these people to give you a copy of your credit report so you can see what that credit score shows on that credit report. Gives you an indication of where you're at. Don't go out here and start taking out loans and all this other crazy stuff, because that impacts your credit score. Too many loans and all that, you're going to lower your credit score. You don't want to have too many inquiries. That's what they are, inquiries. Anytime that someone is trying to run your credit score, those are inquiries, and those are going to impact your credit report, because what that looks like to whoever is trying to or what the credit what it indicates to the credit card, or the people that you're applying for, whatever you're trying to acquire, what it indicates to them is that you're trying to get as much credit as you possibly can. And if they don't see those companies, if they don't see those loan companies, so say if you try to apply for a loan through Citibank or a Wachovia, or not, Wachovia is not even around, that's old school stuff. You went for Citibank, you went to Wells Fargo, you went to Trust Bank, and you applied for a credit loan, whatever you applied for, and they don't see that particular company listed as you were able to acquire that particular loan that you were trying to get. Now, what that does is it indicates to them that you're scrambling, you're desperate for something. Something's going on. And these other companies are not giving you the credit because they know something that's going on. So that's the reason why you don't want to be having a whole bunch of inquiries, because part of it is it's going to lower your credit score, but the other part is that they're going to check to see whether or not any of these people offered you any assistance or any credit. And if they didn't, then that just gives them a pause. It gives them a warning signal to be like, you know what? I don't know if I want to deal with this person. I don't know if I want to give anything to this person. So anyway, like I said, we'll kind of go over some of these things, but I want you all start the new year off right. Check your credit reports out. From young to old, you need to know what's going on. You need to know from a standpoint of, like I said, the identifying, I can't even blanking out right now. When folks take your identity, you need to know from that standpoint. If somebody took your identity and they're running up a whole bunch of stuff and you don't even know about it, you could be on the hook and liable for some stuff. And even if you're not, then you're going to have to take all this time to try to scramble and clear out your name. So you need to know what status you're at with your credit report. You need to make sure if your stuff is being exposed to somebody else. Somebody else is running up charges. So you could put a freeze on it. It's a lot of things that go into your credit score. So don't act like it's not significant. It absolutely is. I don't want to see our men doing all this stuff where they got to go put their stuff through their girlfriend's name, their mom's name, other people's name. That happens a lot. Anyway, we'll get on top of that. A couple of animals want to listen to my little advice right here. Got to go to the park like I normally do. I'm going to catch you on the next note. Peace out.